of need. Remember when I said that there's about 8 to 10 Bill of Rights items? Those are things where you specifically think about it. Dream about what that would mean in your community. What would a utility ratepayer Bill of Rights look like for your specific neighbors, the people you know in need, or you yourself if you've been struggling with those bills? The second thing I'm going to tell you about is, I happen to know that there is a certain ballot petition that will be coming up before the State Board of Canvassers that will be circulated for this cycle. It's not out yet, so don't look for it. It's not there yet. But it will be coming in the next few weeks, and it's led by a team called Mop Up Michigan. And this one is specifically about getting money out of politics, specifically from the folks that take back our power, who don't want to see our large private utility companies able to spend millions to buy our politicians. If that petition is before you, you see it, you know it's Mop Up Michigan, you know it's getting money out of politics, I encourage you to sign it. I encourage you to sign up to be a distributor in your community when that happens. And what's the other thing I wanted to tell you guys about? Oh yeah. I talked about the failure of politics and politicians and people who are bought in. It's really sad to see that happen. It's really sad to see that happen in my community. It's sad to see the consequences of that happening around Michigan. But what we need are more leaders who are not, what we need are people who are interested in being leaders first and politicians second. What I want, thank you, yes, exactly. What I want and what our communities are crying out and begging for are people who put their neighbors over political donors. And what that means is a lot of hard work. What that means is rather than calling up your buddy who's a lobbyist for a $1,000 check, you gotta call 10 people to donate $100. Or you gotta call 100 people to donate $10. We know this, right? This room is not unfamiliar with this kind of talk. But we also need to be building these structures locally, which is why I think that events like this are so important. I believe that you have to invest in local people locally. I believe you need to build out your city councils, your township boards, your school boards, your county commission seats. That's why, right here, right now, with Climate Stick, with all of our politics that are local, you're looking at the people now who are running for local office. They're the people who are going to be deciding whether or not to pass community solar in 3 or 4 or 5 years. And after that, they're the people in Congress who are going to be deciding whether or not that actually we should be going back to coal in 10 or 15 years. These are the conversations that are happening now, and these are the leaders that we need to be cultivating for our future. So the last thing that I want to plug while I'm up here, before I end up knocking this guitar over with more, here, what if I just switch my hands in my pockets? That's better. This feels so unnatural. The last thing I want to talk about is my organization called Saginaw Bay Rising. It's a political action committee that I started with my friend Mason, who's back there holding the camera. Mason was elected at 18 years old to serve as a member of the Bay City Public Schools School Board. And this wasn't no cakewalk. It was a 7-way race. Had to raise a competitive amount of money, knock a competitive amount of doors, and he knocked it out of the park. So,
Mason! Amen!
I met Mason about a year previously. We sat down in a coffee shop and talked, and I realized Mason did not need anybody to tell him what to believe. He did not need anybody to tell him how to be a leader. And he certainly didn't need anybody telling him how to spend money in schools, or that teachers were working too hard, or that, you know, there were too many kids in classrooms. What Mason needed was the tools to be able to win. And luckily, because I had the training in Lansing, I had done the work, I had run for office, I was able to provide that. But that is the missing link for so many people in our communities. They just need the tools, they just need the knowledge and information. My organization, Saginaw Bay Rising, that's what it's about. We help raise the first $500 for local candidates after they go through a training program, and once they get through that training program, we make sure that those people are all pulling their volunteers together so that we're helping those candidates win across the board. So, I've said a lot of things today, and I've said a lot of, I've talked a lot about ratepayer Bill of Rights, and I've said a lot about incoming solutions. But what I want you to remember is this. Again, number one, we got a board back there. Participate in it. Think about utility ratepayer rights and what that means for you. Number two, what did I say? Sign the Mop Up Michigan petition when it comes out and sign up to be a distributor afterwards. Am I missing anything, man? Do I need to plug anything out here about ratepayer Bill of Rights? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so rather than just dreaming about what looks good in your community, share your stories with what you've seen people struggling with in your communities when it comes to utilities. We'll be sharing my story about having to fight back in Saginaw against 750 families getting their water shut off as a way to move land and get more property taxes for the city. But I'll be writing a long story and adding it to that board, but I'm sure every single one of you has your own stories about what utilities look like in Michigan when we're not putting people first. And then again, you can come and talk to me about Saginaw Bay Rising. It's an initiative that we've started just this year, but it's growing. We already have several candidates, and I'm constantly recruiting. I'm constantly looking for people. If you are in the Saginaw Bay area, if you are looking at running for office, please come talk to me about it. But again, my name is Carly Rose Hammond. I'm currently on the Saginaw City Council. I'm proud to represent my city of Saginaw. I'm proud to be an environmental justice advocate and activist in and for my region. And I'm so proud to be here today with a room full of people who show up. So, thank you. Thank you so much.
So, thank you, Carly. We are going to do a quick little